Yeah, there's this one guy I know, he's a powerlifter freshman. He was doing back downs for like 30 minutes.
No, yeah, they take a while. The back downs are the real like pain. That's the real pain. Because once you hit the top, right, it's like yeah, exactly. But then once you hit
up on YouTube, it's the Early Show. What? Tap in on YouTube, it's the Early Show. Okay. Tap in on YouTube, it's the Early Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Early Show. I'm your host, Cole Early, and today, on this episode, we have our first guest, Joe, powerlifter and my treadmill buddy. So, Joe, give us a little bit about yourself, what you do, who you are. Little introduction.
What's up, guys? I'm Joe. I go to the University of Oregon with Cole. I'm also his training buddy, or treadmill buddy, in the mornings. As you said before, I powerlift. And yeah, I think that's it, right?
Okay. So, Joe, before we get into kind of the question I have for you, what's your training schedule like now? Like throughout the week, your frequency, what you do?
Right now, I train 4 days a week, rest 3 days a week. First day, Monday, I do deadlifts and some accessories. And Wednesday, I have my secondary squat and then secondary bench. And that primes me for my primary squat and primary bench on Friday.
What is secondary bench and secondary squat?
So essentially, from what I've been told from my coach, it's essentially just kind of priming your body and getting your body ready to squat and do the movement. Like a heavy movement, just getting ready for the big day, kind of. And then Saturday is usually just like accessories. Today I did it's more push focused, but yeah, just like accessories, small stuff.
So on your secondary days, are they relatively lighter? Like, do you normally?
Yeah. You
don't max out.
Yeah.
Okay, so more reps, less weight.
Yeah, I don't know if have you played football before? Like, did you play football?
American football?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so we have, in football we have this thing called like walkthroughs on Fridays in high school. It would be Fridays. And then the next day you have your game day, right?
Yeah.
So the day before you do your walkthroughs, you don't do anything. It's just kind of like going through the motions. I feel like that's equivalent to your secondary. It's just you're doing the motions. You're not going full intensity, but you're still just getting the...
Kind of get the mental right as well.
Yeah.
So before you... Okay, so right now, Joe, like of what I hear, you pull some serious numbers. Let's hear those, and let's hear the numbers that you started with once you got into powerlifting. Well, I guess the question is... Another question before we get into that, when did you start powerlifting, and when did you start getting into the gym? Maybe they're at the same time, maybe they're not, but...
Okay. So right now, my numbers are currently, for squat, highest I've hit is... Or not highest I've hit, just in general right now. 496 squat. And then my bench is... Comp standards, my bench is 285.
Okay.
And then my deadlift, in training, I pulled 616.
Shit.
Yeah. And then before I started powerlifting, like programming, serious training, I would say my squat was roughly around 420, 425.
Okay.
My bench, touch and go, not comp standards, I hit 300. But obviously in comp, it's like there's more rules, so it's harder to hit a higher weight. And then my deadlift, I would say I was playing around like 500.
Okay.
Like 495, 505 before seriously training.
So and you, I remember you telling me this before. You started seriously training at the end of your sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
So you've been, I would say, seriously training for about 6 months now.
Maybe even more, yeah.
Maybe under a year.
Under a year.
Under a year. So you put 100 pounds on your 150 pounds on your deadlift.
Yeah.
So that is one of the main questions why I wanted to have you on. Because as you know, I'm more of a weightlifter rather than a power lifter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm to go for a bodybuilding show.
Mm-hmm.
But I am still, concerned's the wrong word, but like I still care so much about the numbers I'm pulling.
Mm-hmm.
So the question, my main question that I have for you today is, how would you recommend me improve my deadlift while maintaining my current routine? Like, as I don't go full powerlifting, as I don't change my whole schedule and turn it into a 4-day-a-week powerlifting schedule.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do you want me to give you my current routine or just...
Yeah. I guess my first question to you is how, like in terms of priority, it compared to every other lift or like every other thing, how important is getting your deadlift up to you? Like, would you be willing to sacrifice like other lifts or just, other things in general to get it up, or do you kind of want to like stay within your schedule and stay within your routine, but maximize your deadlift capabilities?
Oh, well, I guess I would say I am willing to sacrifice a day or two of my week if I can get my deadlift up.
Yeah.
50 pounds at least.
Okay. Cool. I guess let's hear your routine then, your schedule.
So right now, so Monday is back and shoulders, Tuesday chest and arms, Wednesday legs, Thursday shoulders, Friday back and bi, Saturday chest and tri, Sunday legs. And as you can see, there is no rest day, but sometimes throughout the week, maybe it's once every week, maybe it's once every 2 weeks, I'll have a day where I'm like, I'm not lifting today, my body's not feeling great, my mind's not feeling great, and I'll take a rest day. And there's no consistent schedule with my rest days. I remember the ice storm came, power went out, and I took 2 days off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's my routine. Yeah. And if you want to visualize it, it is right here.
Cool.
So what's your current, like how often are you deadlifting?
I deadlift so I have like a primary deadlift day and then a secondary deadlift day. So that's twice a week.
You only deadlift twice a week?
Yeah. Yeah, so on Monday, that's where I'm like, I feel greatest, right? Because coming off the weekend, I feel good. I'm not tired. Because throughout the week, that's like my main training kind of track. And so Mondays, I'm pretty refreshed. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
So I feel my best during Mondays. So then those are like my main deadlift days. So I get to exert like the most amount of energy on Monday, which is ideal. And then, as I mentioned before, on Saturdays I have my accessories. Or actually, I recently just changed it to Friday, but my secondary deadlift are RDLs, and they pretty much just prime me for Monday. I used to have it on Saturdays, but it was too close to my deadlift day that it was kind of bleeding through. Like my soreness from the RDLs would bleed through. So I changed it one day before to let my body rest more.
So on your, I think you said primary deadlift days?
Yeah.
Like what does that workout look like? Like what are you doing in that workout?
Okay, so right now, I'm close to a meet, so I'm doing singles. However, if I was far from a meet, or if I don't have a meet, I would increase the amount of reps. But since I'm close to a meet, I'm doing singles, so I would warm up to my top single of that day. Each week, RPE goes up. If you're not familiar with RPE is like reps of perceived
Exertion.
Yeah. So for example, this week it was an RP 6, next week's RP 7, and then the next week's RP 8, and then you kind of repeat the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just do warm up to my top set, my single, and then once I hit that, I would do back downs, which are just sets of lower weight.
So I'm going to stop you real quick. Like I want to know your warm up, because this is something that I play with, and I notice in my deadlifts. Like sometimes I'll have I notice for my deadlift, sometimes if I don't warm up, like a heavy warm up, I lift more. But sometimes if I do have a heavy warm up, I lift more. Like what's your warm up to your heavy singles?
Okay, you're gonna hate this.
All right, let's hear it.
But typically, if I was just going to training, I would do pretty much nothing. To be honest, I would do hear me out. On like serious days where it's like really really heavy, maybe 5-minute bike ride just to get the body warm, and then that's pretty much it. But before I get to the platform and onto the bar, I need to do more. Actually, I need to do more. What's it called? The cow. Do you know those?
Oh, when you're.
Yeah, that one. I want to do more of those. I don't necessarily know if it's gonna impact me too much, but I think it'll be a good habit. I don't think it can hurt me. Yeah. It can only help me. But other than that, 5 minutes on the bike, and then after that, I go straight into a barbell. I pick up a barbell, and then I do 5 reps of. I don't know how you describe it, but just have your back fully
like cat cow.
Like cat, and go down, straight leg. Yeah. This is for me, by the way. Okay. I don't recommend this to you at all.
That's why you're here. We're talking about you.
Yeah, this is just what I personally find effective. So I do 5 reps of those, all the way to the ground, bar touches the ground, and then I do 5 RDLs, just strict. Okay. Hinge your hips. I feel like that helps a lot.
With a straight back.
Yeah, with a straight back, because that helps me with my motion. And then my last 5 reps would be imitating my real deadlift.
And what's the weight on? What's the on the RDLs? And are you going really heavy? You going really light?
Oh, that's just bar.
Oh, that's just bar.
That's bar. And then after that, I go straight into my deadlifts. So I go bar with all those reps, all the things that I just said, and then after that, I put a plate on or a red, and then I go straight into my deadlift. Okay. Regular deadlift form.
Give it to me.
As I go into my top set.
Yeah.
So I do 5 reps of a single red. Red, I'm talking 25 kilograms, so that's 55-ish pounds each side. Okay. So 5 reps of that, and then I pop out another plate. That's 2 plates, 2 reds.
It's 110 a side, 220, 265. Yeah. 2 reds.
2 reds each
side.
Right,
just keep that.
And then 5 reps of that, and then 3 reds. This is when I put my belt on. Okay. I get very superstitious about this, low-key. Okay. It's not really a great thing, but I don't know, it's just very routine based. On my 3rd, I get my belt on, and then that's usually 3, maybe 4, but probably 3 reps, and then.
And wait, so that's 3 reds on each side. Yep. So that's around 380, 375.
375 sounds right. 375, and then I pop a yellow on, which is a 15 kg. That's for 2. This is based off my last deadlift session. Okay. That's for 2. And at this point, I'm already chalked up. My next one would be 4 reds. I think is.
Do the math real quick. 55 times 8. So that's about 495.
No.
4 reds.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, big man over here.
My bad. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's my last single. I think 4 reps with like a little 2.5.
Okay.
Just to make the next jump less of a margin.
Okay.
And at this point, I have headphones, and like right before I take it off, just to make sure I get settled in. Chalk, belt, I'm zoned in. That's last warm up. That's a common term for powerlifting. Last warm up, like LWU. I didn't notice that.
LWU.
Yeah, I was like,
LW.
people were posting that, and I'm like, what is that? And it's last warm up, which makes sense.
Okay.
And then yeah, my top single last time was 540 or 545.
540, 545.
At RP6.
Okay. So let's just because I'm not obsessed with warm ups, but like I've noticed that my warm ups to certain lifts change how much I pull significantly. So you got your loose bar warm up, no plates, your your bent back, your RDLs, 155, 5. I mean 1 red, 5 reps, 2 reds, 5 reps, 3 reds, 3 reps, 3 reds, 15, 3 reps.
2 reps.
2 reps, yeah. And then 4, and that's when you go into singles.
Yeah.
So once you hit 4 reds, it's just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Fascinating.
How so?
I just find it's every main deadlift day.
Yeah. For this block, yeah.
For this block. And you do that once a week.
Yeah. And
so have you noticed significant strength gains? Like, because to me, that frequency seems really low. Yet again, I'm not a powerlifter.
Yeah.
And so I'm not involved in that world at all.
Yeah.
But like doing heavy deadlifts once a week, that seems like a low frequency to me.
Okay. Yeah.
But just that's not.
I agree. No, I agree completely.
Not bashing you. Just
here's the thing is just because I have a meet in literally like 3 weeks from today. I have to keep it low frequency. However, because I'm not trying to tire myself out. I'm doing singles just to kind of imitate my
game
performance. Day. Yeah, big game day, exactly. But if I'm like 16 weeks out, is typically 12, 16 weeks out is typically like the like when you sign up, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when there's like the higher frequency, higher volume stuff.
When you're doing a little more heavy days throughout the week.
That's where like your real gains are kind of made, I feel like.
Okay, so before we get into how maybe you can help me, do you have a product that is our unofficial sponsor
I do.
Of the Early Show? Let's hear it.
So, today's sponsor is Celsius. Celsius gives you essential amino acids, a boost of metabolism.
Okay.
Zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
And a whole other bunch of chemicals.
How much caffeine? How much caffeine is in that can you got?
And this can is 270, I believe.
270?
270, which is a lot. I do not suggest drinking this every day. I suggest drinking this whenever you need it.
There we go.
Big days.
Let's wait. Hold up.
You go for it.
Let's leave it on the table.
And actually, fun fact, this is my favorite flavor. Cherry limeade.
Cherry limeade.
Yeah.
All right. That's our unofficial sponsor, Celsius. If you see this and you want to sponsor the Early Show, hit my line. All right, Joe. Now I want to talk because okay. So my deadlift is sitting at. I pulled 405 plus 25 plus.
Wait, before you go into that.
Tell me.
Just reiterating that after my singles, I have back downs, like working sets.
Okay.
So that's kind of more frequency.
Okay. So before, give it to me. What are your back downs?
Okay, so back downs usually is like, it's based off RPE again, and each week our PE goes up. Last week was RP6, so I'd probably say, I forgot. I think I had sets of 5 for like three sets.
Sets of 5 for 3 sets,
So
progressively getting lighter? Question mark?
You mind if I check?
Oh, check, dude.
Alright, for sure. I don't want to misspeak.
I was, there's this one guy I know, he's a powerlifter freshman. He was doing back downs for like 30 minutes.
No, yeah, they take a while. The back downs are the real like pain. That's the real pain. Because once you hit the top, right, it's like yeah, exactly. But then once you hit the top, it's like
shit.
It's like on the way down, exactly, bro.
It's like I still got 30 minutes of this left.
It's like hiking, exactly. Like on the way up, you're good. You about to see the view.
Yeah.
But then on your way down, it's just kind of sad.
It's like okay.
Yeah.
There's no view waiting for me at the bottom.
Exactly.
There's a dirty Subaru.
So, back down consists of 4 sets. My first set is at RP6.
Okay.
4 reps. And then the next 3 sets are based off percentages of that first set.
Okay.
The whole calculation thing, that's my coach. I don't do all that.
Okay.
I just let my coach handle all that. Which is like, I think another huge deal. If you want to get into powerlifting or whatever, I definitely would recommend getting like a mentor or a coach to look over you.
Someone just to help you along.
Yeah, it's just way better. You'll make progress way faster, I feel like, compared to if you were to do it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as somebody that doesn't have a meet coming up, so my deadlift is at I'm just say 455 right now, maybe 460. My top set. What would you recommend my frequency of heavy deadlifts per week be? And maybe I sacrifice my shoulder day for a strict deadlift day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe one of my leg days is a deadlift day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think a big part, too, is in terms of any lift, is kind of identifying your like weakness.
Okay.
So I don't know about you, but do you feel like there's a certain point in your lift where you're weak?
Getting it off the ground for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that once it's above my right here, flies.
I agree. I agree the same too. Before my powerlifting program and like seriously training, I used to do what's it called? Deficit deadlifts.
Okay. That's when you're standing on something.
Yeah. And I feel like that gets you better off the ground.
Yeah.
My coach hasn't given anything of that for me or anything like that for me, so I'm not sure like if it's the most optimal, but I know it helped me for sure. Getting it off the ground and just my deadlifts in general. But in terms of frequency, I think you should have at least 2 deadlift days.
Yeah.
One primary, one real one, and then like another day of some sort of variation that could help with whatever your weakness is.
Okay, so like let's just say a deficit deadlift.
Yeah.
Or could it just be a deadlift but lighter? Or would you recommend
like,
on that second?
When I say a variation, I'm talking like it could be the deficit deadlifts, it could be pause deadlifts, it could be RDLs, stiff leg deadlifts, anything that kind of imitates the motion of a deadlift, but not entirely the same. And I think the main point of that is to fix one certain thing, and make it like money, you know.
Just focus on one weakness in my deadlift on that secondary day.
Yeah. For example, like squats or bench, like there's like pause squats.
Yeah.
You're pausing at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people have weak bottom positioning, including myself. Or like tempo bench, it gets you to control the bar more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did for my bench one of the most effective, but I was with Vanilla Gorilla, Nolan.
Yeah.
We put bands on the bar. Like we wrapped, you know what I mean? And those, I guess you'd say variation bench.
Yeah.
I saw my bench explode.
Yeah, there's like a million variations.
Yeah.
So you can play along with that.
Joe, I appreciate you. And you are the first guest to ever appear on the Early Show. Let's give a round of applause for that. Thank you for coming in. Any last words for the Early Show viewers?
Lock in.
Lock in. Lock in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, I'm not sure what the episode would be about yet. Maybe caffeine, but
Oof. That would be fire.
it would be fire. But there's so much. I was talking to Joe about this earlier. There's so, like, as I read more, I'm like, I don't know anything about caffeine. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to The Early Show. And this is Joe. I'm your host, Cole Early. See you next week.